Ambassadors, I just want to, before you start, the Secretary want to make some housekeeping announcement. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, before we start the meeting, on behalf of the Secretary, we'd like to announce some housekeeping guidance. Please note that this meeting will be recorded for the Q&A session. If you'd like to take the floor, please indicate a country or organization and your name through the chat box of this WebEx platform. When not speaking, please make sure to connect your audio and keep your microphone muted and the camera turned off. Even though this virtual format has some limitations, we expect that our conversations and discussions will continue beyond this briefing and lead the way towards active engagement and participation in the STI Forum. On this note, it is my great pleasure and honor to invite His Excellency Ambassador Pildegovičs and His Excellency Ambassador Koba, the co-chairs of the 2021 STI Forum, to deliver introductory remarks and to chair the meeting. Mr. Chair, please.
Andrei, you're still muted.
Ambassador, I think you are muted.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, Mr. Liu. Thank you so much for your very kind introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates and colleagues. Thank you for joining the informal technical briefing on Multi-stakeholder Forum on Science, Technology, Innovation for the SDGs. Many thanks also to the colleagues from DESA, UNCTAD, Interagency Task Force, and the 10th member group for their continued work and assistance to the co-chairs. It has been more than a month since the first member state briefing convened by the President of ECOSOC, and we are pleased to share further progress made in preparation for the forum and to answer your questions and to listen to your comments. Let us recap some of the key messages that have already been shared and highlight some more information that will be useful for your preparations. This year, the forum will take place in virtual format from May 4th to 5th. In line with its mandate, the forum serves as a global multi-stakeholder venue that gathers representatives from developed and developing countries alike for pragmatic, in-depth discussions on how technology, science, and innovation can contribute to achieving sustainable development goals. Since the briefing in February, the concept note, participant guide, and other relevant information have been circulated and made available on the STI Forum's website. Yesterday, the draft program also has been published, and we will share some of its highlights shortly. The forum is open for participation by all accredited delegates and representatives. The links to virtual platform will be made available to all member states, as well as intergovernmental organizations, UN agencies on the ECOSOC meetings page in the e-delegate portal. At this point, I would like to note that we will foresee that STI Forum will utilize Interprefy platform for regular sessions with interpretation and WebEx platform for special events that will be held in English. We will try to ensure that the switch between the platforms is as easy as possible. The program is organized this way to make sure that the space for discussions on highly relevant and timely topics is available. Additionally, the STI Forum will also be webcast on UN Web TV. For further details, we encourage you to consult with the participant guide. A few words on STI Forum's program. The forum faces the challenge to deliver in limited course of just 2 days on a range of mandates and expectations. It will pursue a number of objectives and functions as per General Assembly resolutions 70/1, 70/242, and 74/229, with overarching considerations such as COVID-19 pandemic, accelerating transformations towards the SDGs, and the impacts of rapid technological change. Strengthening the science, policy, society interface at all levels, addressing inequalities and building capacities will remain central to the forum. The forum is mandating to inform and support the deliberations in the high-level political forum on sustainable development in July. Accordingly, the theme for the 6th STI Forum is Science, Technology and Innovation for a Sustainable and Resilient COVID-19 Recovery and Effective Pathways of Inclusive Action towards the Sustainable Development Goals. And the forum will examine in depth the SDGs 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, 12, 13, and 16. The emphasis will be on how STI can ensure achievement of these goals, and through them, given the holistic and integrated nature of 2030 agenda, accelerate progress towards other critical goals and targets as well. Let me briefly highlight the opening segment of the ministerial session, which also provides the key opportunity for member state engagement. On the first day of the forum will be a high-level opening segment featuring high-level remarks and keynotes to kick off 2 days of discussions. We are working to get exciting keynote speakers who can attest to the transformative power of STI. The second day of the forum will begin with a ministerial session, which will provide an opportunity for national and country group statements. The overall theme for this session is STI policies and initiatives for the sustainable development, best practices and lessons learned. Inscription for the ministerial session are open and will close on April 22nd. Delegations whose ministers wish to deliver statement should register through e-speakers module on the e-delegate portal. The statements are limited to 3 minutes, and we kindly ask to observe this time limit, so we can accommodate as many statements as possible. The time that is allocated to the STI Forum in the virtual mode is scarce. In case we will receive more inscriptions that we can accommodate in the ministerial session, we will endeavor to make the pre-recorded statements that could not be accommodated in the session available online. We also welcome written statements from the delegations. We look forward to your minister's participation. I will stop here and give the floor to my colleague, Ambassador Mohammad Koba, who will provide further details on the discussion we are planning in the thematic sessions, as well as information on side events and innovation exhibition. I thank you. My dear colleague, Ambassador Koba, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ambassador Pildegovičs. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, distinguished colleagues, good morning to you all. We'll now talk a bit more on the details of the program as follows. The forum will look at the several key issues related to STI and SDGs. First, we look at the emerging science and technology trends and their implication to the SDGs, particularly on the challenges and opportunities presented by them. Second, on enhancing national capacities for applying STI towards the SDGs through join-up action, including the work of the UN Interagency Task Team on STI for SDG roadmaps, gender and STI efforts, and capacity building for STI ministries. And finally, the forum will conclude by considering next steps for the TFM, including with several affiliated partners and events. In addition, we are also pleased to highlight a number of special events throughout these 2 days. We'll look at how STI can advance SDGs through the major global high-level events through 2021, the cooperation in the decade of action, building more inclusive innovation systems, and exchange between the incoming and outgoing group of 10 eminent experts appointed by the Secretary General to support the TFM. We would also like to draw your attention to the Virtual Technology and Innovation Exhibition, It will feature the winners of a global competition being organized in collaboration with the Global Innovation Exchange. And the side events, it will remain open until April 9, 2021. Given the virtual format of the forum this year, the side events can be organized on May 3rd to 5th, as long as it does not overlap with the official program of the forum. We would like to assure you that Ambassador Pildegovičs and myself will consider key results from the online discussions, side events, and from the call for innovations as part of our formal summary to the STI Forum to be transmitted to the SLPF, or Sustainable Development Forum. We will continue to also engage and ensure mutually supportive relationships with other major relevant events, such as the BGS high-level thematic debate on digital cooperation and connectivity, and the Commission on Science and Technology for Development, CSTD. We are planning to have highly interactive discussions that will provide adequate time for intervention from member state and all other stakeholders. We encourage state to submit their written statements to the Secretariat for posting on the forum website. We hope that experts from all stakeholders groups in your countries associated with the thematic focus areas of the STI Forum will actively participate in the forum. The registration for other stakeholders has begun and will continue until April 23rd. Despite all the constraint on budget situation and virtual format, we would again like to thank the interagency task team and the 10-member group for their work and dedication. We are grateful to colleagues in the Division for Sustainable Development Goal of DESA and in UNTED office, shown an extraordinary can-do-it spirit, and their commitment continues to be decisive for the success of this endeavor. Going forward, we will continue to work closely together with you and the Secretariat to deliver a successful forum. Next week, we will also have another virtual briefing for other stakeholders. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and guidance to carry on this conversation toward the STI Forum in May and beyond. Before I hand it back to Ambassador Pildegovičs, I would like to invite our colleagues from UN agencies if they have any other information to add for today's briefing. Our colleagues from DESA, UNTED, or DGSEM, if you have anything to add, please.
Thank you, Ambassadors. This is Shantanu Mukherjee from UN DESA, from the Division for Sustainable Development Goals. It is really a privilege to be working with you and with our colleagues from UNCTAD, the 10-member group of the Secretary General, and all the members of the interagency task team, currently numbering 43, to deliver on the STI Forum. I would just like to share that some of our online consultations with experts are underway to further build out the program of the forum. We will have an online virtual expert level meeting. There is a call for inputs to support the findings on emerging technology, and there is also a survey underway about research priorities of prominent organizations. We hope all of these discussions with experts will further strengthen the forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Shantanu. I will now give the floor back to Ambassador Pildegovičs, and we welcome your questions, input, or feedbacks. Thank you. Andrejs.
Thank you so much, dear Mohammed, for your presentation, and to Shantanu for additional update. Now, dear colleagues, delegates, the floor is open for questions, remarks, and comments. Please indicate your interest to pose any questions or comments. Please, the floor is open. I can't see myself any hands raised, but if maybe there is any question in the chat box or in any other indications. I see there is a question from Germany, please.
Thank you. Yes, my question is, I didn't receive the program, the draft program for the STI Forum. I think it was shared yesterday, you mentioned. Who could I contact to receive the program? I already checked on the website. It doesn't seem to be uploaded. That would be my first question about the program. And the second question I have is concerns e-delegates. I understand that there's no registration necessary for participants to be registered on e-delegates, but my information is that the links will be only shared on e-delegates. Will the links also be shared via email? Because that might be easier for the participants to actually send them the links. I understand that only people that already have an access to e-delegates can actually access the link. So my question is, will it also be shared via email?
Thank you so much for your question. I see there is some indication from DESA. DESA representative Shantanu, would you like to take this one on the program?
Ambassador, I think the program has just been recirculated through the chat. So the link is there. On the e-delegates question, perhaps Ziad from DGACM is better placed to respond.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Regarding the e-delegate, first on the program, we can also, of course, circulate the program on ECOSOC announcements on e-delegate. So delegations will receive an email notification and it will be on the portal. Regarding the registration, so there are no registration for ECOSOC meetings. The links for the respective meetings will be placed on the ECOSOC meetings page in eDelegate, as was mentioned earlier. And delegations, since all member states have access to eDelegate, all member states will have access to the link and can securely forward it to the correct person, for example, in Capital, who would need to access the platform. There will be no registration for the STI Forum. So the link is available on eDelegate. The reason we don't circulate it by email is also a security question. We are discouraged from sending links to these meetings via email. And also, rather than open up a registration process, we thought it might be also simpler for all ECOSOC meetings that the links are now available on the eDelegate portal in the ECOSOC meetings page. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Anyone wishing to raise? Please use this opportunity. I see that Cuba would like to ask a question, please.
Yes, good morning, ambassadors, and thank you so much for the very substantive briefing and all the information provided. We look forward for a successful STI Forum this year, and we very much appreciate also the details on the program for the STI Forum. My question is in line also with some of the logistics and organizational arrangement that you have provided before. And in that regard, I would appreciate to know if there is any document that has been circulated regarding the modalities for the participation of minister or high-level officials during the second day for the debate of the STI Forum. As was explained before, I see that the speaker list is already open, I believe, in the e-delegate module for the STI. But I would also appreciate to know if there is any document that contains the details about the pre-recorded statements, how they could be delivered, where they should be submitted, and any other further detail in this regard would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Cuba, for your question. You're absolutely right. Participant guide has been disseminated to all parties interested, and we certainly look forward to the participation of the line ministers representing industry, education, economics, environment, rural development, food, or agriculture. I don't know if any colleague from DESA would like to add on the Cuba's question.
We have recirculated the participant guide via link in the chat box right now. And so I think all of the details are there. We are happy to take questions offline as well.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. The next question is from China. Please. A delegate of China has indicated interest to take the floor, please. I hope the connection is good. I see the sign from China willing to take the floor, please. Well, it seems that we have a technical problem, or China will take the floor a bit later. In the meantime, we have a question from Doris Ngirwam-Phesha. Can UN entities recommend speakers' keynote from within its organization? Is the rule applied also to special sessions? Can we register delegations? The question is about UN entities, whether they can nominate, apply for special sessions. Shantanu, would you like to take this one?
I could take this, please. Thank you. Yes, we have circulated a detailed email on participation of UN entities yesterday to all members of the interagency task team. And I would request the colleague to please reach out to us if they are not the focal point on the task team and would like to know more. All the instructions, including how to propose speakers from within the agencies, is also available online. But the link in the email will help register.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. I don't know if China is still willing to take the floor. Please. I don't see any connections. May I pass the floor now back to my colleague Mohammad Koba, Ambassador?
Yeah, Andre, I think Panama is requesting for the floor. Panama?
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, hear me okay. I just want a little question to ask. What is the level of the delegates that can participate in the STI forums? Vice Minister, Minister, what the level of the delegates that can participate?
It's a high level. So I would imagine that member state would like to have their minister speak at the forum. Is there any other question from Panama?
No, that is, thank you. So we're gonna be a minister level, perfect. Okay.
And we have another question from Trinidad and Tobago. Is the ministerial session strictly limited to intervention by ministers only, or would permanent representative also be able to participate? I would also imagine that the permanent representative will also be able to participate, but I will come ministers to speak first. Is there any other question? Now, would you like to ask for the floor? Are you asking for the floor again? I guess not. Bulgaria, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Good morning, colleagues. Just because we have interest for participation from our National Science Institute, so would that be possible as a level of participation? Thank you.
I think you can send a request to through email to the secretariat and the co-chairs. Secretariat, I mean by to Desa and Angket, and to us the co-chairs. Sandana, could you give us the emails in the chat box so colleagues can take note of the
If I
emails?
could also just clarify, because the STI Forum is a multi-stakeholder forum, the institutes of science and so on are most welcome to participate. And in the participation guide itself, there are details. And Ambassador, as you mentioned, there will be a briefing to stakeholders on the 6th, where further details will also be shared. But we certainly welcome the participation of science community and scientific bodies.
Okay, thank you, Sandana. Bulgaria, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. Very useful. Thanks.
Okay, great. I don't see any other colleagues asking for the floor. I will give back the floor to Andre. Andre, the screen is yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Mohammed. If there are no any other questions from the floor, may I thank all colleagues from Secretariat, from UNDESA, and all colleagues from the UN community for joining this informal technical briefing. We hope that this information has been helpful for your preparations. Please bookmark STI Forum's website and check it for further updates. The next briefing, as Shantanu just mentioned, is for stakeholders on April 6th. And please reach out if you have any further questions or comments. We look forward for you joining the STI Forum this year. I thank you for attending this briefing and wish you a wonderful, productive day. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrei. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Endesa, UNCTAD, and the GSCF.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thanks.